Hello again! Welcome back to another Doctrzombie livestream. Right now, my friends can't hear me, and I can't hear them, because I just wanted to do a little... And he's shaking his head, but I know that that's true. I just want to do a little intro. Before I jump in, just say, hi, I'm here. I'm playing a game with my friends, and I'm going to unmute so that they can hear me.
We should start up the stream
right now.
Would that be kind of recursive?
I knew you could not hear me, Tom. I was intentional. I was addressing other people.
What's your stream address there, Phil?
It's Doctrzombie without the first O. Here, I'll just fucking put it in chat. You're never, you're never gonna get it without. Here, just fucking. Here, you want the Twitch, the YouTube, both?
YouTube, please.
YouTube, please. Okay.
I don't even know if I have.
You can find me here.
You probably do have access to his Twitch account.
You can find me there, and you can be kind of surprised at how many subscribers I have, but then realize that I've been doing this for 10 fucking years, and that's all I've gotten. So, you know.
Oh, look at my hair. My hair's horrible.
It's the light.
Jim, that's all we can see is your ear and a little bit of your hair.
Yeah, really. All we see is Stan's rafters for crying out
I was saying you can't see yourself in the thing. That's all I can focus on is what I look like. I'm over here with like this quadruple chin going, I get look fucking awful. I gotta start walking.
No, actually, you look great for me because like you get paused for like minutes at a time.
Yeah. And
so I get these classic poses.
Just grow the beard longer, man. Just grow the beard longer. It covers up the double.
It gets too long, and then I shave it, and then I never shave it completely off because then I look very strange. But what in the hell's bells have you? Is that a Oh, hold on. Nope. Give me a minute. I remember the name. Noel. Is it a Noel?
Yeah. Yeah, it's Ron's character from my Tuesday D&D, my last Tuesday D&D game, Brother Dog.
Brother Dog. A Noel shaman or?
Priest.
Noel Priest of St. Cuthbert. High wisdom starts around 4.
St. Cuthbert's a good one. I like St. Cuthbert.
Yeah, because in old D&D terms, you were allowed to be one step off of your god's alignment, and Cuthbert tends to be lawful neutral.
Yep.
The usual battles between the LG and the LE versions of the god. I went with true neutral, which is one step off.
Yep.
I just try to be a good boy and just be nice to people. But the problem is you have to pass through lawful neutral to get to lawful good. You can't go through neutral good and do it.
Yep. My first character at any D&D game, at Tom's game, was a cleric of St. Cuthbert. And I recall Jay was playing a paladin of lawful good, whoever the fuck that was.
Paylor?
Well, yeah, no, it wasn't Paylor. Paylor was the sun god. Jay was like the justice god, or the run into battle stupidly god. And
Cuthbert and Paylor hate each other's gods.
well,
they both like me monotheism.
At one point, Jay was like, "You can't let that guy go and get revenge for the bad guy that killed his wife. That's not right." And I was like, "God damn, it's right. Revenge is like the only law." He was like, "Aren't you a cleric?" I'm like, "Yeah, of revenge." It was a good time. Hi, everybody who's joining the stream. This is my role-playing group from way back when. New friends, old friends. We just kind of cycle in and out. And tonight we're playing a homebrew sci-fi space game that I've kind of half designed, half just off the cuff, seat of my pants play using the Ubiquity system, which is basically a series of coin flips, or D2s. And I'm going to do a very quick rundown, again, for those of us who are watching who have never heard me talk about this before. But essentially, we've got a system where we've got some adventurers here who are in space. And it's the kind of space that you got from the old Alien movies, where space is out there, it's slow, there's cryosleep to travel, it's you're running on barely working husks of scrap metal. It's not the Star Wars or Star Trek type space. It's
back.
Yeah, slow and gritty. And the crew here consists of, let me pull up our little show Bible, as I call it, that kind of has all the data. Consists of 4 members on the crew of the ship. The ship is called the Nero. We have Mr. Tom, who is playing Peter Langdon, the pilot. Jim, who is playing Arthur Robertson, the engineer. Stan, who walked off, he's playing Matthias Anders, the doctor. And Ron, who is Sir not appearing in this film. Ron is playing Divad Goldenstein, the corporate goon, or basically a mid-level management type person who works for the company. The company is Musk Teflon Industries. The year is 2206. And the crew has recently arrived and started working at a orbital colony base, space base, essentially, that is under construction around the star Wolf 359. It's actually around the second planet, which is rich in minerals that the company is trying to exploit. Of more recent happenings, the company has invested a lot of money, time, and materials in a new faster-than-light jumping technology that they are calling a jump station, that they are attempting to build a few hundred kilometers away from the planet in sort of a stationary orbit around the star in an attempt to have a point-to-point faster-than-light speed transport. Let's not get too tangled up on the science of it because I don't know it. I'm making it up as I go along. But the main mode of travel has been subspace, which is fast, but it is it is under the speed of light. So it takes years to travel between star systems, and people are put into cryosleep, such as the crew of the Nero. At the beginning of the game, the crew of the Nero was diverted to a accident of a different spaceship that had apparently exploded in space, and they found some interesting stuff there. Mainly, they found an alien spaceship, a small capital C-shaped starship about 10 meters across that apparently collided with the other starship, the Wesson, causing the Wesson to shatter into bits, but not causing too much damage to this alien spaceship. Inside that ship, there were 2 dead alien bodies, and this is significant because up till this time, humanity has not encountered any outer space civilizations whatsoever. It's been limited to single-cell organisms and bacteria on the few worlds that they've explored. Warlord Dick says, I see beards in basements, I'm in. It's gonna be good.
Grognard Gaming Night, beards and basements.
Beards, beers, and basements, we're in. It's gonna be good.
I need rum.
I need rum. He's gotta get alcohol for this shit. And then in our last episode, they are currently on the station around Wolf Station is what it's called, and there is a xenophobic cult that is causing problems on the station. They're rigging shield sensors to fail so that radiation might leak onto the station and kill people. They're causing explosions that are delaying the progress of both the space station itself and the jump gate. And it appears that they're being led by a leader named Caleb Cross, who is a xenophobic, charismatic cult leader who believes that the company has been taken over by reptilian aliens who are inserting themselves into the government and into the highest echelons of the company and basically feeding humans to their, evil alien overlords. The kind of crazy shit that would only happen in a fantasy universe and not at all in real life. So Caleb has a number of associates, lieutenants, and they have some unique flaws that the crew of the Nero has uncovered through some careful manipulation, database hacking, and contacts that they have on the station. And they are about to start using those flaws to remove some of Caleb's closest associates. And that is where we're going to start our game tonight. Sorry for the recap, boys, but I felt like people need to know. I should have done it before, but I wasn't streaming.
It gave Jim a chance to go get some rum.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, actually spiked eggnog.
Well, same thing.
It is.
I just grabbed a Pilsner, Cal.
Thanksgiving is first. It's my favorite holiday because all you do is eat shit.
You're doing Christmas wrong.
You're doing Christmas wrong. Facts. All right.
All right. So you've gotten 2 of the people have already been approached. 1 person is already on our side, and 1 person is sort of like on the fence, and he's willing to join our side if we give him an alien artifact.
Actually, go ahead.
No, actually, Tom, we've got one basically who's on our side by being removed from the equation entirely.
Gotcha.
They might provide evidence afterwards, but they are no longer on site.
Gotcha.
I scavenged her for my work project along with other people, and that person is just gone. The one Jim confronted will swap sides if we can get someone else to jump.
Yep.
Okay.
And the others, we've got the actual lieutenant who is got the the hard schedule and hard habits that we're gonna fuck with.
We're going to Benny Hill him, yeah.
And then there's the drug addict. And if people want, as a medical professional, I can come up with something that will just knock him out and take him out of the picture for a couple of days to a week, and then as long as we knock him out sometime close to when we're going to spring our trap on the ringleader, he ceases to be an issue. And if he becomes a problem afterwards, that's up to station security to deal with.
Okay.
And
So
do we want to bother trying to pick off the drug not the gambler? I know your profile said some of you are better at that than others.
Yeah, I can do a little bit of gambling. I'm not exactly great at it. Let's see what happens after you mess with the guy who's got the rigid schedule.
I think that's really just going to piss him off.
I don't think you're likely to get him over to our side of things. You're just going to basically just annoy him for the sake of annoying him. It's like having a small child go in and press every single button on an elevator. It's like, yes, it's annoying, but...
Well, that's...
Right, Stan, you first.
We're never going to get him to change sides. His personality type is just the wrong type for having him jump ship.
Gotcha.
So, our goal is really just to make his life miserable.
And you did determine that he has a prior record of assault. He's a bit of a hothead. So recently, once he's been associating with the cult, he's calmed down a bit. He's kept in line, but it is not a far stretch of the mind to think that if you shake up his routine, he might pop and get himself arrested.
If nothing else, when we go to meet Caleb, if he is currently busy trying to find his way through the maze of corridors we've made, and he's no longer around to bother us.
All right.
Now, the question is, do we want to confront Caleb by faking an artifact, or just rushing him once we've taken out most of his associates? I mean, does he actually mix with the crew, or is he currently hiding in the bowels of the station?
Yeah, all right, so Peter sort of squirms a little bit in his chair. He kind of sits there kind of uncomfortably, and finally he's like, wait a minute, don't go away. Walks off to his locker, comes back with something wrapped in a canvas bag, and he pulls out basically what looks like a small egg.
Yeah, you snatched something.
Well, that isn't what I thought you took.
Upon careful look, Ron, you are definitely sure that this does belong on the end of a hand. It's actually a finger.
Oh. I wish there was something we could steal something off the wreck itself. But that means we've already solved that problem. That's weird.
Yeah. And no one was buying.
Good work.
I will cite regulation that at the time I hadn't gone aboard yet, so technically it wasn't corporate property.
Yes, and that's exactly why I took it. Because it wasn't yet corporate property.
Really? You expect us to believe that there, Tom? Or I mean, excuse me.
He can
Peter?
believe. Hey, he can believe what he wants. He's welcome to believe whatever he wants.
Look, nobody's dead yet. This is running better than half my jobs.
So yeah, so I have something which is actually an authentic alien artifact. And then again, I can't seem to get anyone to buy. So might as well get some use out of the darn thing.
Okay, so now we actually have something to trade. So we can get him, we can lure him in.
So yeah, I think if you're going to mess with that guy.
When do we want to make this guy's the lieutenant's life absolute miserable? I can't remember his name off the top of my head. I can't find my notes.
I got my notes. Lieutenant
Roger.
Roger Lanford.
Right, Roger. Okay. So when do we want to make Roger's very bad day happen?
Roger's very bad day should happen probably just before we're technically going to meet with his contact. Is we want to drop him out, or do we want to knock him out earlier?
Well, we don't want to run the chance that this guy's got some contact within the. We know that the ringleader got a contact somewhere in security. We just don't know who. So I would say like a couple of days before we're gonna contact Caleb and set up a meet. We probably want to start screwing with this guy so that he's off the reservation by the time the meeting happens.
So the first day, his favorite eggs aren't there. Next day, it's the eggs and the coffee.
Actually, I'd say we do it for a week. One day the eggs aren't there. One day the coffee isn't there. Next 2 days, his favorite shitter is blocked. You know, and just kind of ramp it up over a couple of days so that by the end of the week, you know, nothing's working right, and that's when we start, you know, blocking corridors and, you know.
A sensor's down. Radiation leak. We can't go this way. Oh man, I'm gonna ruin my.
You know where this quartered?
I'm sorry.
Do we know where this guy is quartered? We know that he's got a routine that he sticks to. We know where he lives.
Since you received a mysterious package that included a lot of this information, somebody dropped it off in front of Jim's door. You definitely have his picture. You know what he looks like. You know what room he's in. You know his email address. You know everything you need to know in order to.
Well, also Jack's got some background information on these people from the official security files.
Yep.
You know, they don't have all the information we already have, but we didn't tell Jax that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if you know exactly how long he's away from his home, then Arthur and I can basically slip in, or maybe Arthur by himself, and tweak with something, I don't know, in the bulkhead, something that's like tinging so he can't sleep right, or
that's a good idea.
Or a low-level hum that just won't, you know, again, just like won't let
it set off X number of degrees.
Or a bomb!
I don't think we need a bomb.
No bomb. But
if anyone has a bomb, don't admit that.
I don't have a bomb.
Good. He's learning.
But I'm just thinking, it's like, if you're really just that determined to make this guy's life suck.
No, it's a great idea. I like it.
Ping, ping. Yeah, that could really get him annoyed.
Okay, so are we starting then with fucking with Roger's daily life to sort of ramp him up over the course of a week?
Yes.
Yeah, we start with his life, and at some point during that point, we knock out Oliver Rose, and then if we need to, we deal with the gambler.
Okay. We'll start with Roger breaking into his room and setting up some uncomfortable changes in his room. So let's start with...
Does he share quarters with someone?
No. One of the few perks of living in a station that ultimately is supposed to house a lot more people is that currently, at least, everyone has their own room. And you definitely, the schedule's not the problem. You know pretty much down to the minute when Roger's going to walk out of his room and head down to that cafeteria for his morning cup of Mr. Coffee. So getting that is not an issue. Breaking into his room will require some skill checks. So who's going on this run?
I was going to say no one, because I'm using bureaucracy. I was wondering if I could simply get us a work permit to go in and make a change.
Oh, that's good. That's good, Ron. I like that.
Yeah, but then isn't it on record?
Yeah, then it's on record.
Yeah, that too.
Record.
So it wouldn't be your area, Ron, because you're managing part of
jump
the
gate.
jump
I'm aware.
You might be able to hack in a fake maintenance record for Arthur to then go and do. That will require your computer checks rather than a legal and safe way. It would be more of a illegal way.
Well, what's the chance that there's a quarter behind his cabin?
Sorry, what was that?
So, what's the chance that there's a maintenance quarter behind his cabin?
Pretty low. The stuff that's on the crew deck is not going to be your Jeffries tubes with your shield sensors.
I'm taking it the station's fairly modular, so like the crew ring is really just a whole bunch of modules that glue together to make
it's
something.
It's as cheap and prefab as you can get it, and then it's slapped together. If you want to make a roll to see if there might be a maintenance access that does go into his room, we could do that.
Not into so much as near, so they can set the thing up in the Jeffries tube outside his quarters to take at him. So we never broke in.
You'll annoy him and the guy next to him.
Yes.
Fair enough. Let's see what kind of rolls we might get here. Let me. I have to open up my document. Here.
How many skills don't I have? Most of them.
Yes. Tell us what you want us to roll. We'll give it a shot.
Yep. Let me pull up which skill it'll be here. I'm just looking up the page right now, and we've got. So this is going to be just to see if you're lucky enough that one of them exists there. Let's go.
Basically, an engineering followed by a contortionist to get back into space.
Here's an engineering.
Hold on. We'll do a 50-50 as to whether or not there's even something there that you could potentially do. Okay? So I'll go ahead and I'll roll... what is it?
Oh, no, I did that backwards anyways.
You did. All right. Yes, there is, in fact, a maintenance tunnel right next to his quarters. He just happens to be in one of the spots where there's one right nearby.
Yes.
So you're lucky there. Now, are you going to create a fake maintenance order or just have Arthur go during his off hours and break in and put up a little men at work sign so that most people will just say, yeah, that's typical, and walk off?
Let me just fake it.
I'd like to look and see if there's a work order for the area and just expand it to include that piece. So Arthur's still doing job A and will also just do job B while there.
Make a bureaucracy check.
All right, bureaucracy. 7 dice. Let's see. Start with I'll take my half for 3 and see if I can get a 4th. No, I've only got 3 out of 7.
Okay. There is a work order in the area. However, expanding it is not a straightforward amount. It's not like fix the light in this tunnel and also install a sound dampener. It's going to require you to actually...
All right, fine. Swapping.
Well, no, let's just let Jim in his off time go into the maintenance tunnel, because He's already been in maintenance tunnels looking around in his off time.
Right.
No one's going to question one of the engineers in one of the access tunnels.
Yep. What I will allow you to do, though, Ron, with that role, you can swap the person who's on duty for replacing that light bulb with Jim, with Arthur.
Ooh.
So
All right.
you just reassign somebody, not a problem. It won't even leave a record in the log. So you've taken, Dana Bill off of it and put Arthur Robertson on, and now he's in charge of that maintenance.
Oh, yay. Changing light bulbs. The most exciting thing.
It's way below your pay grade. Wow. So it comes to the day that work is done, and Arthur, without even a roll, you could take your average. You can easily replace the part that's broken in the hallway outside within a few minutes. And look at that. Due to the bureaucratic nature of Musk Teflon Industries, you have 45 more minutes left for this job to get done. Normally, that would result in bullshitting and drinking coffee, but you've got more important matters, breaking and entering. So, go ahead and make an engineering roll. This is going to be your craft engineering, I believe.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, half.
Oh, that's fine. You're simply setting up an Annoyo device out in, the walls of this guy's...
Yep. It's like ding, ding, ding.
Yep, it's going to make... You've basically created the world's most annoying smoke alarm that needs its battery changed. This analogy comes from my life this week. So, every 30 seconds, it goes, beep! Really loud.
Oh,
No, I was hoping for a little more subtle than that to annoy him.
quietish.
All right, every 180 seconds, beep! You quietly seal that device in the wall, put a little sticker, Musk Teflon Industries, on it, leave, lock the door, and stack the bodies and leave quietly one at a time. The next day, at 4:30 in the morning, Ron, since you've put a little tag on the file, you get a maintenance request for that domicile. Annoying peep. Can't find location. Please fix. Very annoying. You go back to sleep.
I was going to say, bury the work order.
At 5:30 in the morning, an hour and a half later, you get a second work order. Peep is extremely loud and annoying. Please fix immediately. Priority 1. Safety of crew in jeopardy.
Does he actually have an authorization to actually cause that flag?
Oh, no. No. You change the flag back to a 4. Does not bother. Does not impact crew.
I was going to show up and say I didn't hear anything.
Even better. You change it back to a 4. You bury it. You go back to sleep. 7 o'clock in the morning, you get a third work order. It's all caps. Fix the fucking peep. You expletive. Techies, expletive. Right now, expletive. I need to sleep. Priority 1, safety of crew in jeopardy. Now you can go to his room if you want and say that you don't hear anything. Now, it wouldn't be you. You would send an engineer down to do it.
And not me. I'd send somebody else I could fluff it off onto.
Now, somebody else is going to hear the peep.
Yes.
If you want to pretend you don't hear the peep.
Oh, yeah, but see, then he'll know my face. Oh, well, never mind.
Oh, no, I was just say,
It's either you, Jim, or we get some nameless NPC, and the nameless NPC is going to hear the peep.
Unless we pay the nameless NPC.
let's
not
pay
to
off the
hear
nameless
peep.
NPC.
All you have to do is say, look at this email. He's a real asshole. Just go there and say you don't hear anything.
Yeah, okay, let me try that. That sounds like fun. Let's see, that would be, what? Would that be empathy?
So-
Empathy. Can I roll an empathy check for that?
So, Ron, somebody has assigned one of the low-level techs on this floor to that ticket. And you will definitely need an empathy check. Arthur, you probably know the person, or at least you can, look up his information in the database, find out
We can
what he
offer.
looks like.
I can just offer him a better shift.
Just switch him. Just constantly switch shifts of whoever's on duty. Which would you rather do? Bribe the guy to delay
No, that is
fixing
the
it?
bribe. I'm offering the guy a bribe of a better shift if he doesn't hear anything.
Okay. So you and Arthur pull the guy aside. You say, "Hey, you're scheduled to go look at this peep in this room. It's a union job, and we really would prefer it if you didn't fix it right now. And I'll give you a better shift. I'll let you have Saturday off for the month or whatever. You negotiate. Go ahead and give me another empathy check.
Which
Me or
of us?
Ron?
Let's do Ron,
Okay.
since you're technically the guy who's in charge of switching the shifts here.
All right. So half of my 7 will be that, and I'm going to throw a full point. I'm going to roll for my split, and so I'm going to have a 4 min.
Okay.
And let's see, roll for my split. No, I did not. So I'm only at a 4.
A 4 is still pretty decent for something that is basically a "we don't want you to work too hard today" situation, and then you're offering him an extra Saturday off this month. So, yeah, okay, I'll go in. I'll claim that I hear the peep, but I'll tell him that I can't fix it this week. He's just gonna have to deal with it for a couple days. It's not a priority. We've got explosions on deck 4. It shouldn't be a problem.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna say that, or you don't hear the beep.
It's gonna be pretty hard for me to pretend I don't hear a peep. I'll just tell him that I can't figure out what it is, and I'll have to put in a higher work order. It'll take a while.
Well, okay,
As an
now-
aside, for
I would
future,
say
if we ever decide to do this type of thing again, we need to put a remote control on the beeper so we can shut it off, and then we don't have to deal with this at all.
It turns off as soon as the guy enters. Holy shit, that would piss me off so much. He was peeping a minute ago! And then as soon as the guy walks out, it starts
off.
again.
The guy was there.
Holy shit, this is too bad.
Can we get Arthur in there and turn it off?
Well, you wanted Monty Hall, didn't you?
I feel bad for the evil NPCs. Okay. It goes completely according to plan. And, the peep continues. And a few hours after the techie leaves,
I get another work order.
well, Roger is storming down the hallway toward his cup of coffee. And he looks...
Isn't there this week?
He looks miserable and pissed, and he shoves somebody on his way, and he's bitching about how he got no sleep. He's got bags under his eyes. And he goes for Mr. Coffee. That was day 1. On day 2...
On day 2, I don't need to talk to the kitchen staff, or someone else needs to. We need to adjust the menu just a little.
Okay.
Basically, there's a shortage of something he likes for the day. There's been a backlog in shipping.
Okay. Make a bureaucracy check.
All right. I'll have to fully roll this one.
All the eggs got shipped back to Earth.
No. It's taking too long to unload everything. 4 dice.
4 dice. Okay.
Just, smooth.
I mean, 4 dice is...
Basically, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
4 dice is a great roll for something that is not difficult. You are basically telling them that there is a supply chain issue. We're all familiar with that phrase. And so are people living in a space station a million miles from Earth. They go, "What do you mean there's a supply chain issue?" And you're like, "Well, the machine that manufactures the synthetic coffee beans is not working. We don't have any synthetic coffee today. All we have is refried almond milk. And that's all we can serve the customers today is refried almond milk. It's just as
We will
good for
fix
you."
it as soon as possible, and hopefully within a couple of hours it'll be solved. As I literally get people to run it from deck 1 to deck 6, but
It's a
right
temporary
now we don't
issue.
get it.
All you have to do is put a little piece of tape on the Mr. Coffee machine number 5. All the other coffees, we still have decaf, we still have espresso, we just don't have regular coffee number 5. So please put this little note out there. We're sure nothing bad will happen. And you can put a little note saying, refried almond milk, asterisk, does not contain real almonds, asterisk, is available as a substitute. They accept it. You outrank them. You have documentation stating that there's a supply chain issue for Mr. Coffee number 5. And they put up a friendly little sticker. 25 minutes later, right on schedule, Roger comes into the cafeteria, walks over to coffee number 5, ignores the note, and presses the button. The machine goes, eh. He presses the button again. The machine goes, eh. He starts hitting the button. He's shaking the machine. Error! Error!
Built.
Until somebody in security runs over and goes, hey, stop! Stop that! There's
You don't get free coffee that way.
refried almond milk over there! What are you doing? Roger curses out the security guard, who just kind of stands there aghast that someone would be so angry about not getting synthetic coffee. And then Roger pours himself a cup of decaf, drinks one sip, throws the rest into the trash, and wanders off. Back on his schedule. That's day 2.
He didn't swing at the security guard. Nuts.
It's now day 3. The coffee machine is still not fixed. Supply chain issues. We don't know why.
We can fix it. We just have to wreck something else.
And now it's time for Roger's typical lunch.
I was going to go with the plumbing first, but okay. Lunch is fine.
Roger likes a tuna melt, and he gets his tuna melt exactly at 12:15 every day. The tuna melt is always on the menu. It's so inexpensive to manufacture, and it's an easy, thing. It's stable, and Roger likes stable. That pinging is keeping him up at night. He's got ear plugs in his ears constantly. He walks out of his room now with bits of cotton sticking out of his ears. He pours himself a decaf cup of coffee and then pours a little bit of espresso and mixes them together and does not look happy about the result, but at least he's drinking something. He goes about his day and comes up for his 12:15 tuna melt. How are we addressing this situation?
So is
Long
this still the
line.
first day?
Sorry?
Is this still the first day?
This is
No,
day
this is
3.
Day 3.
He's had 2 awful days, and they're just getting worse.
I say, day 3, we don't need to take it away from him. We just need to make it different. There's too much dolphin in his tuna.
How about we do a long line? So he doesn't get there at 12:15. He doesn't
Run a
expect to get
special.
it.
Run a special for something else altogether that everyone else in the station's going to want, so that the cafeteria is just packed, so we can't get through the line in time to get his tuna melt.
Okay.
Hey, what's that going to cost me, if anything? Or is that electronics or just being nice to the cafeteria?
Let's do electronics. You're going to go in and hack today's menu to offer fried spamwiches.
Oh, yum, yum.
Mm-mm. A delicacy. It's made with actual spam, asterisk, not made from ham.
Whoa. So, craft electronics or comp sci?
Comp sci.
Okay. Doesn't matter, the same number. Think I should just split the difference for 3, or should I roll to see if we can get higher?
I recommend
good.
you roll for this one.
All right. Out of 3, you'll never pass any of those. 62. Bang, bang, 2. Only 3 anyway.
Okay.
Okay. I'll blow one of my lucks on it.
Okay, you burn a luck point to make it a 4.
My problem with this is I am much better at delegating than doing this stuff myself.
That's true. If you yell at somebody to tell them to do computer science, they have a better roll than you do.
Yes, by 4.
Oh, God.
In fact, I'm going to start delegating because I'm much better at that.
Okay. Next, you're like, I don't feel like that worked well. Next time I'm going to yell at the doctor and have him do it.
I don't have any computer skills.
Well, sure enough, you do manage a 3. You do manage to change the menu today to fried spamwiches. However, what you are not able to accomplish is to get the supply chain connections correct to make sure that those fried spamwiches are in the cafeteria.
So I've got an angry crowd instead.
What results is an unexpected problem that actually works out okay. There's a crowd of people complaining that management offered a fried Spamwiches Wednesday special, and the fried spam is not available. So Roger is pushing his way through the crowd going, I want my tuna melt! I need my fucking tuna melt! And people are like, but spam! It's on the menu, boys! And there's no spam. The lunch lady's holding up a tuna melt like, did I get a tuna melt? Somebody please! And Roger just is trying to get to the front. He's shoving people aside. Give me my fucking tuna melt, you assholes! He finally gets a hold of the tuna melt, and he looks happy. He's got the tuna melt in his hands. He goes to take a bite, and some jostling employee bumps into him and knocks the tuna melt on the floor. That's what you heard happened. Because you are as far away as possible from the cafeteria. But when the sirens go off. Riot! Deck 2! Cafeteria! All security report! Riot in progress! You are moving at double speed away from the cafeteria, where a contingent of security officers armed with tasers is running to the sounds of violence. And that is the last that you hear of Roger this week. I'm getting a beer, and I'll be right back.
That took less time than I thought it would.
Well, you had like a lofty plan for every day of the week?
No, we had agreed a series of increasingly painful things for the guy.
Yep.
Unfortunately, now I've got to fix the Mr. Coffee's machine and put some actual spam in the menu system.
So now that we have, in fact, messed with his day, and that gets him out of the picture, but are we any closer to actually hitting our objective?
Yes. Now that he's out of the way and the girl is out of the way,
That's
we just
two.
need to eliminate one more, and that's going to be the drug guy, and I'm going to take care of him myself.
Okay.
Then we use the engineer to coax Mr. Caleb into a meeting with security jacks around as cover, and well, we mug the guy.
Okay.
The Friday newspaper refers to it as the tuna melt riot.
Of course. Now, are you doing your approach on the drug guy during those 3 days that you're making Roger's life hell, or are you waiting for it to be over?
Yeah.
No, I'm going to probably do it at the same time. While I'm taking care of that guy, someone should probably start the sales pitch to the other guy so we can start setting up a meeting.
That should probably be you, Peter, since you're the one who acquired it in the first place.
Was Caleb the guy who actually was aboard our ship?
No. In fact, you don't actually know who was aboard your ship who took a shot at you. Who took a shot at you.
Yeah.
We're
still going with that.
You were never able to find out because you realized that if you used... I don't know if you were here for this. If you took the videotape of the camera that was watching the exit of your ship where the guy would have ran out, you would also have incriminated people, Ron, who hacked into the terminal to find out information later. So it was a situation where it was like, well, we could maybe get the guy, but we could also incriminate ourselves. So conveniently, that video camera wasn't working that day.
I can put out the feelers.
Well, Patrick Smith openly said, if you can eliminate 2 of the other lieutenants, I can get you a meeting with Caleb if you can, fake or provide proof that you have something he wants, which is alien.
I would say let's go. You and Jim, Tom, work because Jim's had contact with the engineer guy.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make the pitch to him that we've eliminated 2. We're working on number 3. Go for it.
Yeah, okay. That sounds like a plan.
That makes sense.
Now, when we spring this on this guy, how are we going to go about this? Is security going to be involved in this?
Yes, I don't want it to be, quote, us at all. We are doing security a benefit. Because security wants the guy that can't prove anything.
Do we need to talk with Jack then?
We're going to need to talk to Jax before we pull the ambush off.
But one of us is going to have to be there for the sting to work. If we're making a sale,
Yes,
One of us
yes.
has
Some
to
are going to have to be there.
I'll be there. I'm not a problem with that. But one of us has to be there for this thing to work.
Yes. But unless we don't have the cops involved, that means what are we making bodies? How are we going to? What are we doing? That's not our job.
Well,
I just want to stop the idiot.
Yes, but if he's interested in buying an alien artifact, and alien artifacts are currently illegal, then as soon as we get him in the act of doing that, he gets arrested, and so do most of his folks.
Yes, that's the point. They've been looking and squeaky clean of late. Our job is to simply get his goons off of him so he's not squeaky clean. Basically, there was a horrible plan that, let's see, where's his name? Tick.
The problem is he's got a contact in security. Whatever we do has got to be hard enough that is not going to get him free and clear.
Well, yeah.
I've got a thought.
I'm fairly sure Mrs. Torres and, say the name, Patrick Smith are both willing to testify against the guy if we can pin him down.
Right. No, what I'm also going to say is let's just pad the event a little bit. So we're going to put the finger in a box that has a compartment a separate compartment inside the box that will fill with the blue dream or whatever the drug that guy likes. The other guy likes.
Yeah.
That way he's got both an alien artifact and illegal drugs on him.
The thing is, he's probably got the drugs anyway because he's the one who's been feeding the stoner.
Yeah.
Right.
The drug is called Babel.
Babel. Right.
Okay. So I mean, so let's handle Stan and his drug.
Is it worth talking to Jax on the side?
Well, someone's gonna need to be involved in order to make the arrest.
Right.
Yep.
Jax is on board. I don't know if you talked to him specifically about setting Caleb up, but if you do need to bring him into it, he'll say, yes, I'll be there. I'll bring my.
I'm fairly sure we can work him around to a clever plan to let him think he thought of it himself.
Well, he doesn't even need that, but he's as invested in getting this guy arrested as you are because of the threats that his friend Jessica Kara received.
Yep. I'd still love to know who locked this guy's files from me.
That is just going to be too difficult to know.
I know. Well, for now. Dun, dun, dun. I still say he's being paid by phytosynthetic.
So, Oliver Rose is addicted to Babel. Babylon Industries Mood Boost Plus Happy Pills, ground up and mixed with cough syrup.
All right. It doesn't seem like that'd be a very hard thing for me to synthesize.
It wouldn't. You would need to get some happy pills out of the locker, and cold syrup is easy. That's not a big deal.
Yeah.
You're pretty sure, not 100% sure, but you're pretty sure someone has already been taking it out of there and marking it off as correctly administered, when in fact they're simply being pocketed.
That's basically what I'm gonna do myself.
So that's what you're gonna do.
That I'll write a prescription. I'll write a prescription for someone to get happy pills, and then that person just doesn't know that he got a prescription for it.
Oh, I got a prescription. I just don't need them.
I was going to say, it's pretty easy to write a prescription to a friend who's also in with it on you. For example,
right.
Any of the three other people here.
Right.
So, or even Jessica. Probably not Jax. Jax wouldn't want to be involved.
No.
But, things happen. These are basically, these are high-end, expensive, and strong antidepressants. So, go ahead and make a medicine roll, I believe, would be best.
Medicine or chemistry?
Well, you're not synthesizing it right now. You're getting the ingredients out of storage correctly. You're writing a prescription.
Gotcha.
And this is not a difficult roll.
Then I'm going to just take my half, which is 4.
Mm-hmm.
Go for it.
Yep. You have written a prescription. people will barely be able to read the handwriting, let alone actually think that it might be incorrectly administered. And yeah. So, okay, that's easy. Now it's the chemistry part. You have the cold syrup, you have the pills, you know that they need to be mixed and then further refined using some industrial equipment that you probably have aboard the Nero.
Now, I have a dumb question about this.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be close or even actually work. All we need is when someone else scans this funny blue powder the guy's got, it comes back with happy pills plus cough syrup.
Well,
my goal is to make it weak so he won't actually overdose on it. But I'm going to add a healthy dose of horse tranquilizer so it knocks him out.
Oh, okay. This is not the stuff for the Caleb ambush. This is just for.
Well, I'm going to make enough for both, actually.
Yeah. He is interested in getting Oliver out of the picture.
Yep, that will knock Oliver out.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Ketamine is for horses.
Let's make a chemistry roll then.
Okay, give me a second to find my keyboard.
I'm not sure I have a manual for this. Let me check my motivational primer. I'm probably not bothering you at all.
Where's that damn button? I need the keyboard.
Oh, come on. Just think at it, Stan. You can do it.
Ron, are you attempting to boost his abilities?
I don't know. Does the good doctor need my harassment?
I've got six dice going into this.
All right, sure, fine. I will annoy him with better practices.
I'm looking for.
So
6 dice plus 4. 6 dice plus 4 successes if you're willing to let me annoy you.
For those of you watching who are unfamiliar with what Ron is doing, as probably should everyone be, one of Ron's special abilities is to boost others' skills temporarily by basically being an annoying corporate drone and reciting corporate standards to them while they work. It doesn't actually work that way. They don't gain any benefit from the corporate standards. What they do gain is 4 dice because they are just trying to get Ron to shut the fuck up and show that they can do their job.
I rolled the wrong number of dice.
So Ron is there like, now remember, you cannot mix sodium and water directly together, and it would be bad.
So 5 successes.
Okay, that is enough. You manufacture a weak form of babble and then drench it in horse tranquilizers. It's not perfect. It doesn't, if you don't actually
this guy's
have...
probably desperate, so he doesn't care.
You don't actually have babble to compare it to sitting next to it, but you look at it and you go, that looks like a drug. That looks like blue crystals. I've seen the old Earth television show about the guy who manufactured methamphetamines. This looks good enough. And you put it in a plastic baggie. You could easily seal it in something more official, but a plastic baggie just screams drugs. And you hand it to Ron, who goes, yeah, that's drugs. This does not look good. Yeah. Now what are you going to do with it?
So, half of it goes into the container with the finger, just so that we have the extra punch for locking this guy up.
Okay.
The other half is going to go into into another baggie, and is going to be.
Hey, Oliver, I got a thing I was told to give you.
I was just thinking. We drop it off at his room. Put it in a mailbox, effectively a delivery box, and just knock on his door, delivery, and walk away. He'll do the rest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll work.
Because many times druggies will look at the drugs they've received and go, I'm suspicious about how I've received these. Nope. You slide it into the mail slot in the door. If you stuck around long enough, you'd hear him snorting it.
Right out of the mail slot.
Just fucking right out of the bag. Just crushing it up on the table like, yes, my shipment is here. But I mean, usually it's done in a more secretive way, less incriminating. But hey, times are desperate, and Daddy needs his blue babble. He's going to be asleep for a long time, yeah. Meanwhile, meanwhile, Peter Langdon and Arthur Robertson are off to talk to Patrick Smith.
Mhm.
Off we go. Dun, 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 dun,
Does
dun,
he,
dun.
does he typically want like some sort of clandestine meeting, or can we just like meet in a food court?
That's where you met him last time.
Right.
And you kind of knew where he was sitting. He doesn't sit with people. He's kind of a loner. And he's, there again enjoying a spam witch that apparently corporate has recently reintroduced to the menu in order to quell some morale issues. Not really.
Yeah. It's,
So when I'll sit down. He's already familiar with who we are. So I'll sit down and I'll be like, I believe you're looking for items of very specific uniqueness. I think I might have something for you. I don't have it with me, but I do in fact have an image of it, and I will show him a little image of it.
And this is a picture of the finger.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He looks at it and he goes, "Is this a piece of an alien body?"
Who are you talking to at this point? You're talking to the engineer?
The engineer.
No.
Patrick Smith.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, he's the
He's
engineer.
in this scheme.
So I'm gonna look around like I'm really concerned about security.
Oh, and he's whispering too.
Okay, so I mean, like we're whispering and be like, well, we probably shouldn't say anything, but I didn't bring this from Earth, and I'll wink.
Okay. Well, if you have this, even if it's not real, even if it looks pretty real on a picture, I think I can get Caleb to meet for this. I'll take the picture. I'll tell him that I, heard about this, that somebody from that
No,
spaceship,
I'll be right back.
hang on, doorbell.
that somebody from the spaceship. Oh, you're both running off for the doorbell. Go for the doorbell. Beat him, Ron. For those of you at home, Ron and Jim live in the same house. I think I can convince Caleb to meet.
Ron.
I heard that Amy has been transferred, and we all know what happened to Roger. So I think we're good. If you can get more people off of his side, better.
Well, what's his name is going to be down for the count for at least for a day or so.
And it'll come down to when he wants to make the sale. If we have time to approach a couple of your other friends, that might be helpful. But if he wants a quick sale, we'll have to settle with what we got.
I could probably do tonight.
Okay.
It's Thursday, so I think we can get Caleb alone on deck 4 with Daniel Cole. Daniel will still be there. Caleb won't go anywhere without his lieutenants. Unfortunately, if Oliver is actually taken care of, and we all know that Amy is gone and Roger is definitely not going to be there, it'll just be me, Daniel, and Caleb, and then whoever you send. When
I'll be there. Certainly to hand this off.
when this goes down, when you give him this item, and you want to kill him,
No.
do you want to arrest him?
I'd like to get him arrested.
Okay. I don't. Let me see. Hold on. I'm gonna have to make a roll for this guy.
You have to get him to talk about the stuff he's been doing out loud.
I don't honestly know if Caleb is going to go down without a fight.
Well, that's his choice at the time.
He is a psychopath. He thinks he's invulnerable. If somebody comes out of the woodwork and says, "You're under arrest, you have alien property," he's gonna pull a gun. But I also have a pistol. If you have anyone with weapons, you should bring them as well. If he's outgunned enough, maybe, just maybe, he'll go quietly. And if not, at least we'll have more guns than he does.
All right, we can set up something for this evening. I'm assuming you want to do this little storeroom in the off the back deck or something, someplace secluded.
I will call you or email you with the location and time.
Okay.
And he looks at the picture again. He holds it up. He nods because this'll work. Caleb is convinced that these aliens are reptiles. If he has a piece of one, that's all he needs. It doesn't even matter if it is a potato painted green. He'll claim that it's clearly reptilian.
Alright.
If they're all doing that, that means I get to go talk to Jax to get him to come.
Yep.
I'll go with you, Ron.
Ron, when you talk to Jack, see if he's got some kind of wiretapping setup we can use.
What do you mean he has?
Security.
Oh, he's fine.
I love how Ron is just like middle management, like basically the guy who runs Walmart, and Ron's like, I have access to the security systems across the whole system. I can see everything.
Never mind.
Security system. Oh, right. Oh, you want to use the systems and not my personal one. Okay.
Oh, God. Okay. Fast forwarding a little bit. Your conversation with Jax.
Hey, Jax.
Hey.
Hey.
It's pathetic as usual for him.
How's it going? What news do you have?
We think we're going to be able to get Mr. Caleb to come out of his hole, and he's going to have a lot of incriminating evidence on him.
Okay. If I can bring somebody...
I was hoping for you. I trust you a lot.
Well, I'm not going to go in alone, but
Oh,
I definitely will go. I'll bring somebody in the security office who I know, at the very least, is going to report it accurately. If we have enough evidence and enough people are there, I don't think anyone can sweep it under the rug.
Well,
What exactly do you have incriminating for him?
Well, he's going to have alien artifacts on him.
He has an alien artifact.
Well, he will.
and drugs.
Do I want to know how he's going to get this alien artifact and drugs? And he looks directly at Ron. At Devon.
Mission accomplished. No.
I'm not sure what you're saying. Corporate has certain bennies, and, well, security doesn't prove anything. I'm helping, right? I will give a sad...
So he kind of... He puts his fingers on his face, and he's like, oh, man, I really don't want to know. Okay, just get the stuff on him. When he walks away from your meeting, that'll be the signal. We'll move in, and we'll get him.
Come armed. We're expecting him to be heavily armed.
I don't go anywhere without my gun.
Bring armor.
I bring my gun to the shitter. Armor.
Bring armor.
You want?
Well, that was...
It'll be pretty
that was
easy to require some riot gear. Recently, some serious civil unrest has been happening. It's got crazy around here.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I don't want to.
I know,
do
more
it.
paperwork. Spam day.
For a brief moment, Jax picks up on the fact that you guys know more about the riot than you're letting on, and he goes, "Oh Christ, I don't want to know more, do I?" All right, I'll be there. You by the time you actually you probably don't know when and where yet, but in an hour you get an email. It just has a time and a place. You know, corridor 74, deck 4, 8 p.m. Come alone. You know, bring artifacts.
What is in this area that he's sending that we're going into?
It is a refinement and materials processing area. Essentially, you're going to be meeting him between two large coke ovens, big, hefty, heating things that melt down steel. And basically, they're for melting ore from the planet that the probes can't do themselves. So the probes will load this ore into a surface-to-station rocket. The rocket lands at the station, unloads the ore. People bring it, load it into these massive ovens, and cook it down into refined materials. You're going to be meeting Caleb between two of them late at night after the normal refinement shifts are over.
Okay.
Multiple questions.
Yes.
Will those ovens be open and running?
No, because there are not going to be anyone on duty.
I was fairly sure Teflon Musk Industries belonged to the evil overlord opinions of
Night shifts, 24-hour shifts, they will once the station is fully manned. However, currently they do not have enough people working on the station to run the ovens constantly.
So the ovens will be on standby because cooling them back down would be too much of a...
They would have, but there's the jump gate that they're building is taking a lot of manpower. So for now, there is a 4-hour shift that they're not running between 8 p.m. and midnight. And that's about when they want you to meet.
Okay.
The other question is going to be, since they're not up and running, you can't just throw people or evidence into them to get rid of stuff. Hooray.
Creepy, but I like where you're going.
What? Boardroom survival skills. The question is, how many exits are there from this space, and how many of them can I lock once we're in there?
I was going to say, I can come up with an excuse to go down there and update med kits or something like that and take a look at the space.
There would be an emergency station. It would be a little bit odd to have a doctor go down there and update stuff. It would be more like an engineer's job, but if you put on the right outfit, no one would really know.
I could put on the right outfit. It's just a matter of I want to know a layout of the place before I do it.
Yeah.
And which doors I can basically... So I don't want Caleb running away from me, slamming a door, opening a door and then slamming it, locking it on me. I want
You are... So you have a few hours, of course, before this meeting, so you could just simply walk by the place and take a look. It is a pretty open area. You count at least 4 different ways you could run if things suddenly got bad. It's basically like you're meeting him in an alley. But there's, there's exits. There's no doors because it's an open air coke oven. But yeah, you could run down the hall to the left. You could run down the hall to the right. You could go into the back halls. You could go into the Jeffries tubes if you had the time to open them. There's plenty of exits. You won't be cornered.
I was worried about cornering him.
That's the other problem is he won't be cornered either. If he chooses to run, it'll be a matter of just a foot chase. But at the same time, he's, you'll have security on your side. So you have the upper hand here.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like it. And what were you saying, Stanley?
I was saying if we needed an excuse, you as the management, me as the doctor, health and safety inspection, we just walk through the area.
I could just walk.
Hey, you, put your helmet back on. You should be wearing a respirator.
I was saying I could just go down there because I need... When will I get my minerals for my project? My project needs those minerals.
I need those minerals.
Mine more Vespian gas.
I need more Vespane gas, more pylons. Let's go.
Yeah, we're nerds.
Can Patrick at least give us a general idea as to what path Caleb's going to use to get to the rendezvous so that we can basically have security around the other spots?
He doesn't know. He just knows that Caleb will get there first before the meeting time and make sure that no one is watching. Okay.
So you guys are all going to have to get in a position after he's there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, we're going to surround the area with us and security.
And I'll stall.
You walk up and do the deal, and then
I'll stall.
And then once the deal's done and you walk away and he walks away, that's when security's going to fall on him.
If you need to, you can hide in the off oven.
I don't think you can hide in the oven.
I wasn't planning on that.
It's not running, but it is not safe.
Yeah, I'm not
Those things don't really cool down.
Yeah.
It just takes a few weeks.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
I think we have
really mean. That would suck. That would really slow down the project. Simply venting the space, venting the room.
Oh.
Just at at 7 o'clock every night. All right, shift's over. Let's vent everything into space.
I was just thinking how much corporate air that would be wasting.
Yes, I know.
Yeah,
That
those
and the coal is like crack. It's not a good idea. It's just an idea.
oxygenators are not cheap. Okay, fast forwarding a bit.
Yeah.
The plan is for Peter to go alone with the item
Yeah.
and meet Caleb and whoever associates he has with him, while Ron and Stan pretend to be doing some health and safety inspections nearby. Arthur's just hiding, and Jax brings with him 4 other security guards in full Riot gear, with tasers and pistols. Of course, Jax has his military rifle. And they're going to hide in any possible exits, and then when you walk away, Peter, they're going to swoop in, catch him with illegal drugs and illegal alien artifacts. Asterix, Jax doesn't want to know. And then he'll be arrested, it'll be on paper, everything will be good. That's the plan?
That's the plan.
All
What
right.
could possibly go wrong? Let me listen.
Everything.
Yes.
Does surreptitiously will ask Jax, is there a penalty for the rest of us being armed?
No. Must
I don't
Teflon
know.
Industries does not have any issue with you exercising your personal right to defense. As long as you're not carrying military-grade weapons, you are allowed to have pistols on the station. However, you're not allowed to fire them. However, in an instance in which your life has been threatened and you feel like shooting that gun is your only way to stay alive, you do have the right to personal defense.
Excellent.
And Jax kind of
That's
says, if this guy pulls a gun on you and you shoot him, you're not going to get arrested. Okay?
Okay.
Just letting you know. But if he pulls a gun on you, we will be shooting first as well. But don't worry.
With a melee of -1, I'll be hitting the floor.
I'll be hiding in the coke ovens. It's safer there. Okay. Fast forwarding a little bit more. Peter Langdon, you are walking in a sort of dark, if not for the red-orange glow of the ovens nearby, and the occasional flickering blue light of the station's shitty but operable light systems. In front of you are 3 shadowy figures positioned in an area between the ovens where their faces and bodies are slightly obscured. As you get closer, you can recognize them. One of them is your co-conspirator, Patrick, to the left of Caleb, and he gives you a sort of knowing look standing behind Caleb. On the other side is Daniel Cole, a man of whose picture you have seen, but you don't have any other interaction with. In the center is a wild-eyed, bearded man, not too dissimilar from Charles Manson, minus all of the tattoos. He gives you a wide smile and chuckles lightly. So, the pilot turns against the conspirators, against the collaborators. You have something I'm very interested in. Proof of the reptilian overlords. Can I have it?
Let's
For a
talk.
low price of 500 credits. No.
In 10 easy installments.
He holds out one of his hands sort of expectantly.
I'd like to talk price first.
Good job.
He doesn't even look disappointed. He just kind of keeps the same face and he goes, "Not a true believer then. Doesn't matter. What matters is you've got the proof and I've got the money." And he snaps his finger twice, and the man behind him that you don't know, Daniel Cole, looks a little upset, a little saddened, but he pulls out a little wooden box and opens it up. And inside is a bunch of little metal chips that you recognize as being Musk Teflon credits. These are basically corporate funds. The type of things that you might gamble with.
Okay.
It shouldn't have.
You insert them into a chip, into a terminal, and it's basically credits goes into your accounts. A quick, look at them, you think there might be 4 or 5 months' pay in that box.
Nice.
Nice.
This is close to half a year of your salary jingling around in that box, and you get the impression that maybe Daniel had a hand in getting it. He is the gambler, after all.
Okay.
He passes the box to Caleb, who then holds it out in his other hand toward you, and he goes, 5 months' pay for someone who's a pilot. I think this is quite generous.
I will look over the box. You know what one of my motivations are. Yeah. Okay. One brief moment, and I'll pull out my little satchel. It's wrapped in a number of little charms and little, weird little trinkets and stuff. And it's taking me a while to unwrap it.
Caleb, just stoic. He's trying to keep a peace facade, but you can tell that he's getting a little more and more excited as you get closer to unwrapping it.
Now, I'm doing this for 2 reasons. One, I'm trying to give everybody enough time to get into position, and 2, since I'm playing one of my motivations, I actually did have all of these various little charms and everything to ward off the bad. So I will. What was that, Ron?
I said I figure your character doesn't want to give up his good luck charms.
No, I'm okay. Thanks. So I'm sitting there. I'll unwrap slowly and so on. It'll probably take me like 5 or so minutes to get to it, and then I will finally unwrap the little bit of alien part.
Okay.
And show it to him.
So you stick out a little bit of the alien finger, and he leans in, and he gets a good look in it. That looks promising, but I want to see it closer. I want to touch it. I want to feel the scales of the reptiles.
Sorry.
And he takes the box full of the credits. He shakes it.
And I'm holding out my open hand for the box, and I'll have the finger in one hand and my open hand in the other at the same time.
He shakes the box a bit, and you can hear the credits inside. And he goes, "If you run, I will kill you." And he puts the box in your hand, and he holds out his hand for that piece.
I will sort of like drop it into his hand. I'll keep all of my little luck charms and everything with a couple of fingers, and I'll sort of drop it, plop it into his hand.
He snatches it, and he holds it in his hands really close, and he touches it, and he notes the incision where you cut off the finger, and he notes that there's a bit of a bone in there, and he's rubbing it, and he's like, "Yes, this is real. This is a real alien reptile finger. I've got the proof." And Daniel goes, "Huh, huh, huh, huh." And Patrick just sort of stares. "This is price well paid. I will prove that Musk Teflon Industries is in bed with these aliens, these devourers. Thanks to you." And he gives you a crazy-eyed smile.
So if I come across any more, you'll be interested? And I shake the box.
You'll find that I value loyalty very highly. Whatever it is that you desire on the station, I could get it for you. So if you can bring me more proof, I will continue to be generous. But now I have to take this to a doctor friend to verify its reptilian blood. We'll be in contact. And he turns and starts to walk away.
Okay.
What do you do in these final few seconds?
Did Jax give me any indication as to where they were going to jump him?
Jax basically said that him and the 4 other guards were going to try to surround any exits. If you make a... What is the spot check in this game? It's perception, right? Your perception skill. Go ahead and roll your perception skill.
I'll take my half of 4.
4 is good enough that you can spot 2 of the armed guards hiding in the darkness in corridors in front of you. Basically, the way that Caleb is now turning and walking away, he's going to have to pass by at least one of them. Because basically the hall between the 2 ovens goes straight and then splits off to the sides. So whichever side he chooses to go to, there's a guard there. And it's likely that there are some behind you, and you don't know exactly where Jax himself is.
Then I would like to take a couple of hurried steps to catch up to him.
Okay.
And say, perhaps a drink while we celebrate our future partnership. And when I get close to him, if I can get close to him, I would like to use larceny to pick the pistol from his holster.
Okay. Make a... So first you're going to try to convince him that you're just getting close because you want to get a drink together.
After all, he's a wealthy man, and I'm a greedy little weasel.
So,
He's ready to burn.
Daniel pulls his pistol a little bit in response. Patrick, of course, does not because he knows that you're on his side. And Caleb doesn't appear to feel like he needs to. So he turns to you and gives a wry smile, and he goes, "The drink, huh? Yeah, we could go for a drink." And then you're going to try to pick his pocket while he's...
I want his pistol.
Yep, go ahead and make that larceny check.
Oh, go for it.
I will spend...
Comms on you.
You're going to
What
spend...
was that?
I said, I don't think I'm speaking into your ear right now.
No.
You're probably not. But I will spend a style point to grab the extra 2 dice.
Okay.
So we'll just get that off. Let's see. I'll take the 3.
A 3 plus... Oh, that's with the dice. Okay.
Yep.
All right. I think he's going to have to roll a perception in response. See if he notices what you are doing.
Yep.
And that's going to be...
Same.
3 on 3.
You are even. And even is success or failure?
You get to call.
I get to call.
I mean, it varies in opposed roles. I believe in the system. Ties go with the player, but play it by the situation.
Okay. I'll play it this way. You reach for the pistol, and at the last moment, you realize that if you go for it, he'll catch you. And you manage to pull your hand away before getting the pistol and before getting caught.
Actually, instead, I'll double down. I will reach in, grab it, and run.
Okay. So you grab that. You realize he's going to catch you. You grab the pistol and start running.
I am running towards where I saw the 2 guards.
You get about... Okay, so you're running straight past him? Or are you going to run the other way? Okay, so you grab the pistol and run past him.
He'll give chase to me.
You get about 3 steps before the confusion wears off, and he goes, "He grabbed my pistol, shoot him!" So, Daniel pulls his pistol to point it at you. Patrick pulls his pistol and points it at Dan, and I need initiatives from everyone.
Oh.
Well, I'm actually pretty decent with initiative, so yeah.
All right.
Comedy of Errors, Part 2.
Comedy.
Well,
of errors.
I'm hoping we can catch him alive.
Okay.
It would be nice to catch him alive.
Okay. Let me roll.
I also have 3,
my
7.
initials.
Who can I talk to?
Stan, I think.
Yeah, you're near Stan.
All right.
It's okay. Mine's a 3. I'm fine.
Am I in the area? That's a good question.
You were blocking one of the exits.
Am I? Okay, hold on.
You do have a
Initiative.
great initiative there.
How do I?
Those
I
bad
got
guys.
4
Yeah.
initiative.
All right. What did you get, Tom?
I got a 5.
What did you get, Ron?
3.
What did you get, Stan?
3.
What did you get, Jim?
2.
2. Okay. And then I've got a few more to roll. This one's going to be pretty decent. Okay, that's good. And then these are going to be kind of shitty.
They're mooks.
And they actually did really fucking well. Okay. How do we determine ties?
You can say that they go simultaneous, or if you want to, you can also use like dexterity as a tiebreaker or something like that.
All right, we'll do simultaneous. See how that goes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who tied?
Who tied? I'll tell you in a second. I'm still
Several of them
typing the order. Yeah, several people tied at different initiative orders because we have 5s, 4s, 3s, and 2s.
Oh, nice.
At the 5s are Caleb, Jax, and Tom. So Tom is going to get the first reaction because Caleb was a bit surprised by the fact that you then grabbed his gun and ran. Jax will then go second because he's waiting for the signal and some shouting just occurred. And then Caleb will go last. So Tom, Jax, Caleb. Tom, you're at the top of the initiative order.
All right. With the pistol in hand, I'm going to run down the hall past the 2 guards that are basically waiting.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say, now.
Okay.
And I will duck around the very first corner that I can.
Okay. That is easy enough to do. You run past one of the 2 guards, because the other one is at a different hallway. You say, now, and you duck behind the coke oven, taking most cover. It would be a real tough shot to hit you.
Yeah.
Jax is coming from basically the hallway that you came from, Tom. He goes next. He runs in between the 2 coke ovens, points his rifle at Caleb, and yells, "Drop it. We have you surrounded." Caleb looks back at Jax, notices that he's a security officer, laughs and says, "Over my dead body," draws a knife, and runs after you, Tom. He does not notice that there's a guard there until it's too late. But he runs up at you and then attempts to stab you.
Okay.
Let's see how that goes.
Ooh, how's it? So, defense?
Yeah, my defense is a 6, so...
Ooh, you don't need it. He rolled a 0.
Oh, wow. Utter flub.
A complete flub. He misses you entirely.
Hits the guard instead.
The guards...
Nothing.
Poke Oven suffers a grievous wound.
Patrick and the guards go next. Patrick yells at Daniel, "Drop the gun, you're surrounded." And the guards, one of them jumps out pointing his pistol at Caleb and says, "Drop the knife, we have you surrounded, you're under arrest." The other guard comes out pointing a pistol at Daniel, saying the same thing that Patrick did, "Drop it, you're under arrest." And then two guards move in next to Jax. Ron and Stan go next. Are there anything that you'd like to do?
I will draw my weapon, but I'm going to stay, basically stay out of the way and just get myself lined up in case we need to join in the fight, but I'm not looking to join in unless we absolutely have.
I am going to move up with my employee motivation tool. Reskinned. Say the word. You say the word.
And picture him in the primer.
Yeah. I have both my motivational primer and my employee motivational tool.
I was going to say a megaphone. Work harder. Work harder.
It would definitely do 2 non-lethal if I was ever going to use it. But the goal is I'm going to basically scream at the general guards, subdue, and try to influence anyone who's going to subdue them to give them 4 extra dice to do so. Or 4 extra successes to do so. Because
Company manual for aggressive encounters requires that you first subdue the enemy, and then Jax is like, "Shut the fuck up! I've got this! I know how to arrest a criminal!" But he will get a bonus next time he tries to shoot anyone. Okay.
And I am approaching the combat, because, like, you're in... And I will also rant at... say the name. I can say the character's name. Peter, you're an idiot. You're not... Don't get yourself stabbed. That looks so bad on my record.
Okay. Ron, you have the choice. You can either boost Tom's defense by telling him that it would be really bad for him to get stabbed while under your leadership, or you can boost the guards and Jax's next attack. Your choice.
Boost the guards.
Boost the guards. Mostly, I'm trying to get the guards to do non-lethal to the poor bastard, and it would just honestly look bad if if Peter died on me.
Okay. Jim and Dan go next, but for the sake of argument, I'll say that Dan goes first. Daniel goes first. He looks sideways at Patrick, looks at the 2 guards both pointing pistols at him, goes, "Fucking damn it," and drops his pistol to the ground. He then puts his hands behind his head. He gives up immediately. Jim, what are you doing in this moment?
Absolutely nothing. I'll just stay back in the shadows and watch. There's nothing for me to do anymore. It's all work.
Jim sees like 6 people with guns that are arresting a criminal and goes, I'm banging on this Jeffries tube. It's real broken. Okay.
This works.
That works fine. Tom, I think I know what you're doing in this moment. And you're basically defending yourself from Caleb's attacks.
What type of gun does he have, anyway?
Caleb doesn't have one. Oh, the pistol you grabbed? It's a civilian pistol. Yeah, it's...
I figured.
It's probably the same type that you have on your character.
Yeah, I gathered as much. But if it was something like, contraband or something like this, I could throw it into the evidence pile.
Mm-mm. Nope, it's very, very bland. Caleb realizes that he is severely outgunned and will attempt to run with his precious alien finger in tow. So he tries to run past you. I'm assuming you're not going to try to attack him.
Me?
Yeah.
I will try to trip him.
Okay. Make a unarmed melee attack to try to trip Caleb.
With your plus 4, you can attack.
You want brawling?
Yes, let's do brawling.
Brawling I could do.
Bill,
Right.
does he get the plus 4?
You said you were buffing the guards.
I was trying to get him to subdue the guy. That's the official order, was subdue the guy.
Yeah, so Peter does not get your
Okay.
buff.
No. Oh, well.
one point success to try to trip him.
That's not good.
He does not get stumbled. He continues on with no issues. And he runs, full speed away from combat. The next person to react would be the guard nearest him, who switches for the taser and attempts to shoot Caleb with the non-lethal taser, and is yelling basically, "Shut up, I know how to do my job." But he does get the +4.
Yeah, so dice plus 4 successes.
He only gets 4 successes.
It's just four extra dice, I think, Ron.
I thought inspiration was 4 successes. Let me go read.
If it's 4 successes, it's a big difference.
Yeah. Tick tock, tick tock. All right. Talents 150 or so. Down to 150. 200 is too far.
How'd the guard do?
The guard is going to hit him. It's just a matter of how badly, based on whether or not Divad's ability adds 4 dice or 4 successes. I think 4 successes is quite an ability, but it may be the case. I think
Yeah,
it's 4 dice.
four successes is like tipping.
It says it's a +4. It's a +2 skill bonus. I've taken it twice, so I have a total of a +4 skill bonus.
And that's 4 dice.
Okay.
Even so, he does tag Caleb, and the nature of this weapon is that Caleb will take some subdual, basically shock and stun him for the round, which is enough time for all of the guards to surround him, dogpile him, and put their knee on his back and all that. So effectively, at this point, Caleb and his associate are arrested, and we're out of combat.
Yeah.
And it went pretty well. The security team will confiscate that box that you have because it's illicit, it's evidence. So they take it and shake it, and there's like 2 months of pay in here. And then they will collect the alien finger. My understanding is you did not give him drugs to go along with the finger. I know that Stan had indicated that was part of the plan. Did you include the drugs in?
I believe there was a tiny little pouch of drugs somewhere in everything, but I totally forgot that, and I didn't actually give it to him. I didn't plant it on him.
Okay, so you didn't plant the drugs, but the guards aren't interested in you. They're interested in this guy. So they find the alien finger, and they're like, "Oh my god, this is an alien finger," and then they haul Caleb off to prison.
Nice.
With Jax helping to make things official, with the overwhelming amount of evidence, including not really sure how he got a hold of it, but an actual legitimate alien finger, and with the testimony of a few of Caleb's associates, he gets put into the jail, the sort of hastily constructed prison for the workers here who no longer work for Musk Teflon Industries due to severe grievances.
I figured they'd just toss him into a cryo chamber.
Basically, he gets fired and put into a cryo chamber inside of a jail with bars. And he's going to sleep until someone from Earth can come and pick him up and take him to, like, a real prison.
With all that added expense.
It's very expensive, and so the company is not happy about it. But they are happy that a significant amount of problems on the station are no longer occurring. We have 10 minutes left, and I believe we can get through the rest of this pretty quickly.
Okay, go for it.
Because it is mostly me reading a story to you.
Go for it.
Give me 1 minute to get some alcohol, and I'll be right back, and then we'll go for it.
Alcohol is good.
It is good.
It does help.
It does.
Can't argue with that.
Yeah, I miss alcohol.
Here's not drinking. It's a bad sign.
Did Phil give us experience last time?
No, he's giving it to us this time.
Gotcha. All right.
What happens to his associates?
He doesn't have his headset on.
What happens with what?
What happens to his associates?
They are all. So it doesn't take long before Daniel, a professional gambler, sees which way this has gone, and basically flips the tables. He claims it's all Caleb's fault. Caleb was bankrolling him, and he serves a short prison sentence. Mainly because he has to get back to work. they need his help. Building all these things. His punishments are more like you're restricted to Class B rations. Your pay is deducted. You have to spend a week in jail next to Roger, who's just constantly going, and the tuna and the noise at night.
I gotta remember to take that thing out of the wall so nobody else can find it.
No, you don't.
Besides, in prison, he's going to get sleep.
Eventually, someone's going to find it.
No, what we do is we move the beeping thing to the prison.
No.
All right.
No.
That is
Hold on.
sensible.
By complete coincidence, Roger gets a great night's sleep in prison. In the morning, they bring him a cup of his favorite coffee. And lunch is just tuna sandwiches, which no one was eating because everyone was eating Spam. So he's sitting in prison, drinking his favorite coffee, eating his favorite tuna, and he's like, this is a lot better. And he actually has like a mini vacation for a couple of days.
It's a spa day.
What is his reaction when he finds out that his boss is been arrested?
It's he kind of goes back to his old ways. He becomes a bit of a bully and a bit of a loose cannon, but he just gets back to work. He's no longer fully invested in this whole xenophobia thing. He was really kind of just a lackey, if anything. And once it's clear that, Caleb's going away for a long, long time, he just moves on and finds somebody else to follow around. Who's less, terrorist and more just...
Sure.
Yeah, just the guy with yellow eyes from Christmas Story. Scott.
Gotcha.
Scott. Whatever his name is. Fuck, I can't remember. On the bottom of the screen is the in white system letters 1 month later. A month of heavy construction later. Today is a momentous day for Musk Teflon Industries. The voice of company president Jeremiah Musk plays over the loudspeaker in the cafeteria, hallways, tunnels, and loading bays of Wolf Station. The pale yellow glow of station TV monitors broadcasting a pre-recorded message of Jeremiah Musk standing behind a mahogany desk with a banner showing the MTI logo behind him. A tiny American flag in a stand on the desk next to a stack of papers clearly placed there for effect only. Although it has put the completion of Wolf Station behind schedule, today we launch the first ever faster-than-light jump drive from Wolf Outpost to Jupiter Station. A cargo ship laden with precious materials that have been mined and refined from Wolf 359B for the last 5 years. A project decades in the making and sure to bring financial rewards to our shareholders and employees alike. Yeah, right. Stock options were canceled a few days ago. Nobody in this star system is getting rich. Jax mumbles as he grabs a pack of gear from the table. We should get going. The Nero is scheduled to launch in half an hour. We need to be present at the jump gate when the ship leaves the system. Devad has been informed that...
We're going through the gate.
No, you're just going to be next to it. You're going to be watching as the ship leaves. A different ship, a cargo ship.
Yeah.
We are a cargo ship. The Nero is a cargo ship.
An unmanned cargo ship, as we currently...
That's right. living people can't go through the gate.
Living people are not currently authorized to use the gate as they don't know what will happen. So it's materials only.
Yeah.
Divad has been informed that the Nero and a crew of 1 pilot, 1 engineer, 1 doctor, 1 security officer must be in close orbit of the jump gate when the empty automated cargo freighter locks in coordinates for Jupiter Station. There will be other ships in the area as well. 1 science shuttle and 1 military gunship that has been patrolling around the jump gate for the past month of construction.
Oh, that's awfully specific.
It's very strange how that worked out. Jessica Cara has also pulled some strings and is on board your vessel with Jax. She wants to see the final thing too. In fact, a lot of people are sort of like pressed up against windows in the different rings of the station, trying to get a good look at the first ever faster than light jump that humanity. It's a momentous occasion, even if you don't believe every word that the company president is saying.
Assuming this has been tested, they've sent drones through just to make sure that it actually is going to work.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
This is the first, like, big thing.
Used.
When the jump gate activates, there's a sense of pride and relief from the station. But a few minutes later, something happens. Another green-tinted, C-shaped vessel suddenly appears out of hyperspace, a few hundred meters away from the jump gate. It begins scanning the gate with high-frequency emitters before the gunship moves to intercept. The gunship hails the vessel on all public channels. "This is James O'Hara, MTI, human vessel. Do not interfere with the jump gate. Alien ship, if you can hear me or understand me, do not approach the..." A different voice, the one of the station commander, Paul Reichman, comes over to the comms. "O'Hara, do not engage that alien ship. Do you hear me? Do not fire on that vessel unless it attacks first. Close the station windows. I don't want people to see this. Cut the feed. Beth, I said cut the damn..." The alien ship powers up its engines and drives itself headfirst into the jump gate, shattering it in two. "O'Hara, engage that vessel! It just destroyed MTI property. I want you to destroy that thing. It cost us billions of dollars to..." The gunship opens fire on the moon-shaped alien vessel, but the plasma slugs evaporate harmlessly into a shimmering green field that surrounds it. The alien vessel powers up again and drifts slowly, almost carefully, towards the Nero. Peter, your console lights up with an unknown transmission.
Is it in English? Is it visual?
It is visual. Are you going to put the button to put it on screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I will.
You hit the button, and
Hit the button.
you are the only one who sees this. So everyone else can just pretend that I'm not talking. For the next 2 pages. 2 aliens sit in a bridge almost identical to the one that you entered over 2 years ago. These occupants are very much alive. They stare back at you through the video console. One of them has its hand placed on the other's shoulder. The look of fear and surprise on both of their faces. Large, round eyes fixated on yours. The one on the left holds his hand up toward the screen. And in a moment, you feel juice running down your lips and chin. As you pull away a red and purple fruit from your mouth, the first bite of this strange and wild pear, sweet and soft, you chew it and swallow, and gaze up at a bright pink sky. You know there are birds. You know that you've seen them before. Something beautiful seems different about them today. In a flash of white, you are placing a basket filled with these fruits on the floor of a cave. 2 of your friends approach with spears and point at the basket. "What is that? What did you bring?" "It is fruit. It is good," you say. dipping your green hands into the basket to lift up the ripe red pears. You hold them out, and your friends take them. They take reluctant bites, and then smile. You pull at the rim of the basket with your long green fingers, but it is light, and nothing rolls around inside it. The basket is empty, and your stomach rumbles in hunger as you can feel the pain of hunger and the wet sensation in your mouth. You grab a heavy rock and run up to your friend. He took the last of your fruit. He is greedy, and he is the reason you are in pain. You look up to see your enraged friend smash you in the face with a rock. The pain, it courses through your whole body as you feel your skull crack open from the force. You feel every sensation of the pain of murder and the chill of death. You watch as your tribe, your mother and father, your uncles and friends, surround this murderer. They hold their hands out toward him, and he screams in agony as though feeling his own face smashed with a rock. You have all felt it just now, the confusion and pain of your uncle's death as keenly as if it were your own. The tribe hesitates, unsure of what to do. Holding their hands out, the murderer screams and screams, reliving the pain of his own death over and over. In another flash, you toss your spear into a pile of burning spears. The whole tribe has gathered them and destroyed them without so much as a word of dissent. Another white flash, and you're picking another basket of ripe pears from the orchard. High up in a ladder built by your father's hands, you gaze down at the valley. Rows and rows of pear trees, occasionally broken by homes, castles, and towns. Wild animals run through the orchard. Birds chirp in the warm pink skies. You remember how peaceful and pleasant life is. A life without war. A planet that cares about you because it feels your pain and your joy with you. Another flash and a rocket lifts off the ground toward the sky. You cheer and clap, as does the crowd of people watching. Cameras flash and children run with plastic rockets in their hands, laughing. The rumble of this metal cylinder shakes the earth, but fills you with a sense of pride and awe. You can feel yourself about to tear up as you gaze skyward, watching the rocket vanish into the gaseous clouds above, for the first look at the stars. Another flash. You are looking down at a console filled with buttons, symbols, and messages. It's cold here. It's dry. It's not as warm and moist as the planet you see in the distance. One final check of the systems, and you concur with the voice in your ear. Everything is good to go. You look up at the screen as several Feldar spacecraft enter hyperspace with a pop. 1, 2, 3. 3 Feldar ships off to distant star systems in search of other gas giants capable of supporting life. New worlds to grow the fruit. New homes of peace and joy. A few quiet moments later, and fear begins to fill your lungs. A swirling vortex of red and orange appears where the Feldar ships just left, and a huge vessel, bigger than anything your species has created, emerges from the rift. They don't sing to you. They don't speak or meld with the mind. Instead, the darkness of space changes. You watch as a ball of blue energy emerges from the vessel, coming toward you at great speed. Flash. You're running through the halls of a space station, listening to a panicked voice on the loudspeaker screaming, "Evacuate! Evacuate!" Your mother is dragging you by the hand. You look outside the windows and see several Wrath ships firing on the station. Feldar ships fleeing, disappearing into hyperspace. The ground under you shakes as the station takes another hit, and you drop your dolly. You turn to retrieve it and hear your mother screaming. She keeps running. "Mommy?" You turn around, hoping to spot your mother, but instead you spot the sharp, blood-covered claws and teeth of a Wrath. Just for a second. The Feldar on the left pulls his hand back from the screen, while the one on the right winces and turns its head aside in obvious pain and regret. You can see it clearly in their eyes now. A deep sadness and fear. And that's where we're ending our game for tonight.
Contact.
Nicely done, Phil.
Yeah. Well,
Whew. I'm going to go ahead and post that in the chat so that you guys can reread it, because there's a lot to unpack there.
Yep.
Yeah.
In fact, it's making me put it in as a file, so good luck with that. The chat is like, Doc is describing a love story. He is definitely high.
Yeah, Discord's twitchy.
Yeah. So. All right. Now I have to write the next arc of this campaign.
Yeah.
Because...
and give us experience points.
Oh, yeah, and give out experience points. Yes, let's do that.
I can become a better bureaucrat.
I believe the normal amount seems to be like 3 experience points per story arc. Is that correct? Or is that
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
The guidelines, they're really short guidelines that are in the book, but, I mean, you can pretty much do whatever you want to, depending on how you want the progression to be slow or fast or whatever.
Let's do 5. Let's do 5 experience points, because you're talking about a month of work after a pretty significant story arc. And you're going to be doing something very differently. We're going to come back to the seconds after Tom has these visions. And he's the only one who's currently had them.
And I'm not going to, I mean, despite what you...
Visions? I don't believe he's had visions.
That's the thing. I'm not telling anybody anything.
Fuck! It's going to be real difficult.
I am not going to tell anyone on board that I just had basically a little trip from an alien mind probe. Yeah, we're not telling that story to anybody right away. Sorry.
Why is autopsies as a corporate resource?
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm not interested in being a lab rat for a very long time with frickin' sensors on my forehead.
Wow.
Oh, God.
That's a no.
So you think they'd put them on your forehead?
They put them everywhere. I'm only concerned about the ones on my forehead.
It's curious that you're talking about the forehead when the rectum is so much more open.
Yes, of course.
After the thread fanning, the forehead is also open.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well,
2 weeks from today?
2 weeks from today is... Let me see if I'm even available that day. The 17th. That is the day before I start my vacation, preparing my family for its vacation. So I should be available that Wednesday.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Awesome.
My wife has 2 minutes ago sent me a website that's title is Adopt a Dog Faps. I'm going to be looking at a dog that needs adoption right now, aren't I? She knows the rule. The rule is wait till after the vacation and after Christmas. All right. Well, does anyone have any questions before we adjourn?
No, I think I'm
Yeah,
good.
this is good.
So many, but
So many, but all of them need to go through Tom, who has just said he's not saying shit.
Not right away. No.
That's a lot of interesting information, aliens. I'll be sure to keep it to myself.
That's right.
I was like, well, that went badly, and I need a new assignment because they just wrecked my job.
No. I will figure a way to dole it out without making it known that they psychically probed me.
I mean,
That's the thing.
the good news is that if you don't immediately express this information, they can simply do it to somebody else.
Yes,
So
I know.
it's not going to be hard for them to go, I don't know what that guy's deal is. You! Experience memories. So, yeah. Alrighty. Well, anything else before we go off?
No, I think we're good.
I'm good.
All
Have
right.
a nice night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
My inspiration.
All right, and that disconnects me from the group there. I should probably bloop that out. Okay, let's go back to here. No? Ah, fuck. Hold on. Let me reconnect the webcam. What's going on with you? I bet it's because Discord had it. Hello! Yes! Ah, good. I finished it. Welcome. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed a quick peek into my role-playing session with my friends. I have been waiting to reveal that information to them for over a month now. No, 2 weeks. I had a kind of an idea, and I typed it out at least 2 weeks ago. So I hope you enjoyed it. And they said they were cool with me streaming our sessions. So every other Wednesday we play games like that, or really this game now. And they said they were cool with it, so I will probably stream that as long as I'm feeling up to it and I feel like it's not too personal or too intimate or too difficult. I will do that, and you guys will get an inside look. I know that some of you guys are very into role-playing games. I know James Molinar is, but I'm sure he's going to bed for the night. And would really enjoy that. And if you don't enjoy it, well, that's all right. That's okay. I'm doing it anyway, so I might as well stream it. Yeah. So, hi everybody. I didn't get to say hello to because I was focused on DMing. It's very important for me to spend my time with my friends, and so forth. But I did not forget you guys. I was definitely checking chat every couple seconds to see what you guys were responding to. I hope you enjoyed that. I certainly did. It was a good night. Different but cool, interesting. Yep. I hope that Mr. James, a good friend of mine, James Molinar, comes back and checks this out, because I know he's going to enjoy that quite a lot. James is definitely a role player. So, yeah. If you are interested in more information about this world, the previous adventures of the crew, I do have all of it saved, or at least, yeah, pretty much went according to plan. Yeah. So, there you have it. It is 10:15. I believe that I shall play some video games for a little bit. But first, I need to go take a little break, refresh, well, mainly use the bathroom and talk to my wife a bit. So I'll be back probably in about 5 to 10 minutes. And I'm going to end this stream, start a brand new one, so that I can, give it a proper title and all that. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll be back in a couple minutes. If, what will I play? Probably Oxygen Not Included. That's a pretty good one. Oh my god, I got 5 new items in my inventory on Steam. What the fuck? What game? What? Oh, it was Dungeon Beneath. Oh, weird. Weird that I got a bunch of stuff for Dungeon Beneath when I haven't played it in a while. Okay. So, New World is an option, but not really greatest for 45 minutes because I would like to do the dungeon and I'm not, there, and also that's not enough time. Oxygen Not Included, fun, having a good time with it, trying to get better at it. I think that's probably what I'll do. I'll do Oxygen Not Included. ONI. We'll be back in about 5 to 10 minutes with ONI. I'll see you guys then. Bye.